Welcome back to my channel, The Crafty Quinn. Today we're doing part 2 of my everyday farmhouse decor DIYs, again using items I already had in my stash. These are all super budget friendly, easy to recreate, and perfect for adding that cozy farmhouse touch to your home. Let's get started. For this first DIY, I'm starting with this bottle cap looking sign. This is a plain metal sign that I got from Dollar Tree Crafter's Square, and this is a couple years old, I think, at this point, but I've seen them back in stores recently over in the 4th of July section, but they do have some writing on them that you would need to remove if you want it blank to start with. First, I'm using my black ink chalk paint. It's an acrylic chalk paint from Waverly, and it's not like their typical chalk paint. It does have a little bit of acrylicness to it, but because of that, I'm having to use 2 layers of paint to cover this. So I did one really thick layer and then I came back, waited for it to dry, and did another. So this is a farmhouse stencil from Dollar Tree's Crafter's Square Farmhouse Decor style section that they had, and I absolutely loved it. I held on to this, and this is something from my stash, of course, and I just couldn't wait to use it on this craft because I made this sign a few years ago and then I couldn't find it anymore, and it made me really sad. So I wanted to recreate this because I've been needing this with my decor. So I actually followed the instructions that came with the stencil, and what it says is to not put too much paint on your paintbrush when drawing this stencil, but you also need to remember to paint in more of a circular motion. So basically just quick swipes and keep it moving, and make sure you don't have too much paint on your brush. So for this, I did not go against where the cutouts were. I tried to go with them, because if I did that, then I would get the paintbrush underneath the stencil, and you definitely don't want that. So I'm just turning my brush where I need to get inside the lines. And you want to make sure not to let this stencil linger on too much, because you don't want it to peel the paint off when you take off the stencil. But this painter's tape was a huge help just to hold this in place, and I didn't do that the first time around when I made this craft, and I didn't think I could, but turns out you can. So I decided to just go with the middle, and then once I had all of this painted, I think that's what ended up holding this in place. And so then I could just finish up some touch-ups on the feet here of the chicken, well, rooster, and then now I'm taking off the painter's tape, and it was still holding in place nice, but I was a little bit scared, so I held on to it just to make sure. And so I just filled it in more. And as soon as it was all filled in, I lifted it up, and it was basically good to go. I barely had to do any touch-ups on it. I did touch up the areas on the bottom, so the paint was still drying when I took this photo, so you might see that a little bit, but I love how this one turned out. It's one of my favorite crafts I've ever made. DIY number 2, you might have seen this sign over in Dollar Tree's Crafter's Square section. They have some houses sometimes, and I think this was maybe some remnants of their farmhouse DIY decor, so I just used this. I took the stand off of the back of this because it's supposed to stand up like a picture frame, but I'm using Waverly plaster chalk paint, and it actually color matched it really well. But I just wanted a solid paint color because I thought this Dollar Tree transfer would look really well on it if it was solid. So these are Dollar Tree farmhouse transfers from my stash, and so you're going to see a lot of this being used and types of transfers being used in today's video. If you're a Dollar Tree crafter, you might have these in your stash as well, and hopefully you can use these ideas. So this is just some burlap ribbon that I got from the Dollar Tree floral section. Another oldie but goodie for my stash. And this one's from Dollar Tree as well. I really hope they get more ribbon soon. I've been looking at what they have lately, and they just really have not added to the ribbon section. Oh, this was my favorite ribbon. This farmhouse ribbon from Dollar Tree, when it came out, I held on to it like it was the Holy Grail. felt like it was such a treasure, and I could not wait to use this in all of my crafts. So this was supposed to be a Christmas themed raffia multi-pack, and I figured I'm just gonna use this, just the regular looking one for today's bow. So I just take a piece of the edge of it and I wrap it around the middle to cinch it. And I normally pull out both ends and I try to make it look like it's a bow tie. So I wrap it around, and then once I have it where I like it, I'm just gluing a little bit in the middle with my hot glue gun. And then I took a separate piece of raffia and I'm just wrapping this around the middle because I'm trying to combine all of this into one big messy ribbon. So I'm just pulling the raffia, just trying to pull this as tight as I can, but I'm noticing that things are not quite even. So luckily before I cinched it all the way, I did just even the ribbon out a bit. So I just pulled, and then I just kept knotting it. I just wanted to make sure it was gonna stay, which it definitely will anyway because we're about to hot glue this. So I just adjusted the raffia bow in the middle, and we just set that aside, and then we're moving on to the rest of this craft. So we are just putting down the plastic transfer sheet now. I was just pressing down to make sure it would stay, but I don't think that really matters. So I'm just using my Cricut knockoff scraper tool here, and I'm just going over it until the black pieces of this transfer start to turn gray. And once you rub over it and it turns gray, then you know that it has successfully come off of the sheet. So you are gonna have to go in and just scrape a little bit sometimes as you go if it doesn't transfer all the way the first time. But just gently and slowly pull the paper back. You don't wanna pull it too quick because then you rip up your design. And if there's any excess, you can just use a finger sander tool or any kind of sandpaper and just scrape the edges off. Last but not least, we are just gonna hot glue gun our bow down. And just like that, we are done with DIY number 2. And this one came together so quickly, but it adds such a nice farmhouse touch in my opinion. So this is a quick reminder, if you're enjoying these ideas, please make sure to give this video a like, subscribe to my channel, and let me know in the comments which DIY is your favorite. It really helps this video get seen and supports my channel so I can keep creating more content for you. Moving on to DIY number 3. So this is more farmhouse fabric that I found in my stash. I hadn't used it before for any of my other crafts, so I'm so excited to show you what you can do with this. And I found this metal jar sign from my Dollar Tree stash as well. And this farmhouse transfer is another Dollar Tree Crafter Square transfer. I just realized I had this backwards here, but yeah, this is the full sheet that it came from, and then I just cut out the pieces that I wanted. So I am first going to paint a background for the farmhouse words because I want them to show up and I don't want to leave them on just this plain metal jar. But you don't have to paint this all the way down. You just can paint the, I don't know, top third of this because the rest of it is going to be the fabric. So this color that I'm using is called Moss, and it's a Waverly chalk paint color. This is matte Mod Podge that I got from Dollar Tree, and we are going to use heat and transfer this fabric to this metal sign and make it adhere. I love this iron-on method, and a lot of you have been recommending it in the comments, so I'm excited to be doing this more. I'm getting a lot of practice with it. It's been helpful. And so I haven't done it with napkins yet, but with fabric, it's been amazing. So once the Mod Podge has dried, that is exactly how you want it to be. So just lay down your fabric where you want it to go. I'm placing parchment paper down on top of the fabric, and then I'm using this knockoff Cricut tool. It's a HTV Ron mini heat press. And you know what? I will link to it in the chat. Not in the chat, in the description of this video. I will link to it. So this is great. I just use the lowest heat setting. You don't have to go crazy. And I just wanted to make sure I was really going over the edges, because the edges can sometimes be where it doesn't stick as well. So I was really focused on that. And then once I felt like I got everything, I took the parchment paper off, and what do you know? It adhered just great. So I just cut off the excess fabric. So once the moss chalk paint has dried, then we are moving on to transferring the farmhouse words to the sign. So I'm using my scraper tool, and I'm just pressing down, and when I see the letters turn gray, I know that it has transferred to the paint. This color was a little bit darker than I would have anticipated. I thought it was going to be a little bit lighter, but I think I got it confused with a different color that I have, but this one is definitely moss. It pulled back a little bit of the green paint, but you know what? It gives it a rustic charm. It's fine. So this is Buffalo Check Farmhouse Ribbon from Dollar Tree. Just did one small line of hot glue, and that was enough to hold it in place. This is very thin ribbon. So I'm just cutting off the rest of the ribbon I don't need. I just got these scissors from Hobby Lobby, and they're great. I mean, I need to leave them alone for fabric and just make them my fabric scissors at this point. And then finally, as a finishing touch, I'm doing some Waverly Antique Wax, and I just use my chippy brush. I have my chippy brushes linked below. And last but not least, for this last DIY, I used a Dollar Tree metal sign for my stash and a sponge brush, because I really felt like it helps get a lot of chalk paint out at once. This again is the white Waverly chalk paint. I love this. It's just a great background color. This and plaster, I feel like, are just very great neutral background colors for crafts. So I got a great coat the first time, but I did go back and add a second coat of the chalk paint to this. And then I left the chimney alone, and I wanted to, I don't know, I guess my original thinking was just have the chimney stand out with black, but then it looked really awkward once I had just painted the chimney, and I was like, no, I think I need to do the whole roof. So we are gonna do that. We're gonna use the outline of the roof that's already here and just draw lines and just even things out. It's a great kind of template to work with already, so that's what I felt like I was doing. I felt like I was just staying with the lines with my paintbrush, and this is a small enough paintbrush where that was really easy to do. So just filling it in, and the color that I'm using is Ink by Waverly. And now we've made it even on the other side as well. So I grabbed a couple of these transfers. I cut them out from the sheet I had used earlier for the farmhouse jar sign. And so we are just putting welcome home here. And this is just the perfect little entryway sign for your home. I'm using my scraper tool again to go in and make sure the letters are properly pressed down. This one was definitely difficult. For some reason, the lines in the paint were bothering it, but then I used this other knockoff Cricut tool. I'm not sure what this one's called, the pointy one. And that's what helped me. Oh no, that was an actual Cricut tool, never mind. But anyway, I used the pointy tool to lift the plastic off of this because it was really sticking down to the paint and I couldn't get it with my fingernails without taking paint off with it. So this sharp pointy tool was just the perfect thing to not mess up the paint while peeling off the plastic. And this, I'm pretty sure this is a fall burlap flower that I got from Dollar Tree. Another great thing for my stash. I loved when they had these. And that's it for this final DIY. I love how this one turned out. Thank you guys so much for watching if you tuned in tonight. I really appreciate it. If you want to see more DIYs like this, make sure to check out these videos right here on the left, and don't forget to follow me on Instagram and all my other social media so you never miss a new idea. Thanks, you guys. See you next time.